So in the similar manner, you need to design the worm gears. So what is the step you have done in other type of gears? You have calculated first tangential tooth load. Based on power transmission. Okay. So next you are going to calculate tangential tooth load. So based on Levy's equation. So comparing this value and this value, you are going to get the moduli. You are going to get the moduli. Okay, that is what comparing equation number 1 and 2. Right. So once you got the moduli, you are going to find out the dimensions. You are going to find out the dimensions. Next step is what? You are going to find out the dimensions. Next. So after dimensions, you are going to find out the dynamic tooth load here. You are going to find out dynamic tooth load. Once the dynamic tooth load is over, you need to calculate the wear load capacity. Wear load capacity. Okay. Now these are the common steps for all type of gears. Okay. That is what for spur gear, right? Helical gear, bevel gear, okay, and worm gear. Now in worm gear, you have an additional two steps here. Okay, you need to find out what is the amount of heat generated and amount of heat dissipated. That is what Hg and Hd. Next, you need to compare Hg and Hd here. Heat generated and heat dissipated. Now, based on comparison, you need to suggest whether the artificial cooling is required or not. Required or not. Now, this is what design procedure. The only thing is that you need to find out heat dissipated and heat generated in worm gears. These two equations are additional here. Now let us go for the data handbook. And now this is what equation number 12.46a. Now you just refer the figure number 12.13a, worm and worm gear terminologies. Now this is what worm. So you have a pitch diameter D1, worm outside diameter D01, and core diameter it is a D. Core diameter it is a D. Here. Okay, this is regarding the worm gear. Now this is regarding worm. L is the lead. Okay. P is the axial pitch. P is the axial pitch. Okay. So let us look out here first equations. The linear or axial pitch of the worm PC equal to PZ. Refer figure number 12.14 here. Refer figure number 12.14. Okay, let us see figure number 12.14. Okay. So now this is figure number 12.14. So length is the lead, it is Z1, sorry, it is a P2, Z1 into P2. Okay, Z1 into P2. So again you are going to get a two type of pitch here. One is a transverse pitch, another one is a normal pitch here. So P1, Pn is a normal pitch, and normal P2 is what the axial pitch. Okay. If PD2 is the what diametral pitch of worm gear. Okay. So Pn is a normal pitch. Now the lead L equal to Z1 PC or Z1 P2 or pi M2 Z1 or pi M1 Z1 into tan gamma here. So where L is what? For a single thread worm, for a double thread worm, for a triple thread worm. Next, regarding notations, Z1 is the number of threads of the worm. That means, so how many threads you are going to get over this one. Okay. Z2 is the number of teeth on worm gear. Now on this worm gear, how many number of teeth you are going to get? Now in this case, the calculation of pitch circle diameter is not same for both. So you need to calculate a pitch circle diameter for worm as a different as well as worm gear as a different. So for earlier case, you are going to get the same equations to calculate the pitch circle diameter. For example, if you want to calculate the pitch circle diameter per gear, D1 equal to what? You are going to just multiply M into Z1. D2 equal to what? M into Z2. But in this case, it is a little different here. Next, we'll go for next equations. Okay. So here, now the normal circular pitch Pn is equal to what? P1 sine gamma or P2 cos gamma here. So this circular pitch can be calculated as pi m1. M1 is the module referred to the worm. M2 is the module referred to the worm gear or worm wheel. Similarly, normal lead angle, okay, tan gamma. Next, the normal diametral pitch moduli of a worm. So pitch diameter of a worm. Now pitch diameter of a gear. Now just look out here. The formulas to find out the pitch circle diameter, pitch diameter of the worm. dm1 equal to what? Z1 m2 divided by tan gamma here. Pitch diameter of the gear d2 equal to what? Z2 m2 here. Okay. Now this is a difference. To calculate d1, you just look out Z1 m2 divided by tan gamma. Pitch diameter of gear d2 equal to Z2 m2. So you have a difference. You are going to use the same moduli of the worm gear here. Okay. So next, how to calculate the center distance here? Center distance A will refer figure number 12.15. Okay. So helical gears. Now it is a combination of helical gears for 90-degree shafts. Okay. Now regarding this center distance, I'll go back to this slide here. Now center distance. Now this is what worm. It has the axis. Okay. So we have a worm wheel here. This also has the axis. Okay. Now the distance from center point to center point, okay, of this worm as well as the worm gear. Now this is what a center distance here. This is equal to what? Based on geometry you can easily calculate. Okay, d1 plus d2 divided by 2, you will get the center distance here. You will get the center distance. Okay, next to find out the pitch line velocity of the worm. Okay, pitch line velocity of the gear. Now the velocity ratio VR, you can just refer here Z2 by Z1. Okay, this comes. I think you have all these equations in earlier design of gears problems. Next, so module A. Now you just look out equation number 12.49. So module M. So where Q equal to D1 by M, it is a ratio you should maintain from 6 to 13. Okay. Number of moduli in the pitch diameter of the worm. Now this is based on Dobrowolski equation, so you just leave it. Now coming to the Levy's equation here. So the permissible tooth load according to Levy's equation is the same, Ft sigma d Cv b capital Y divided by Pd here, or you can go for sigma d Cv b capital Y into M. Now Pd is what? It is the diametral pitch here. It is diametral pitch. So now regarding calculation of velocity factors, we've got two equations here. One is 3.05 divided by in bracket 3.05 plus b. Another one is 6.1 divided by 6.1 plus b. So this is in the bracket. Now which is taken into the dynamic load? Okay. 6.1 divided by 6.1 plus b, it takes into account of dynamic load. So next, the dynamic strength of gears, so surface strength. Okay. Now the allowable bending stress, we'll leave it for next. Question number 12.5. Okay. Suppose if you want to calculate the forces in different directions, okay, that's what neglecting the frictional resistance. What is the force you can obtain in x direction, y direction, as well as z direction? So where theta is the angle between the normal force with respect to the plane of xz. So you can refer figure number 12.16 here. You can refer figure number 12.16. So mu Fn, you just observe mu Fn, Fnz, Fnx, Fny and alpha. So to get these forces, you can directly use equations. You can use these equations. Now this is what tangential driving force exerted by the worm upon the worm gear teeth. So you can get an two criteria is one, the worm may be driver sometimes, another times the worm gear may be driver. So okay, next you need to find out the efficiency. To get the efficiency, you can go for any one equations here. So based on working conditions. Okay. Next, the lead angle which gives the best efficiency. Let it be. Now this is what resulting turning forces. So you can use these two equations to find out the efficiency. So next, to obtain the coefficient of friction. Okay. To obtain the coefficient of friction, so let us go for equations here. That is what equation number 12.60a or 12.60b. So now based on these conditions, you can use any one equations here, any one equations. So if the V is in between zero point 0.2 meter per second to the 2.75 meter per second, then you can go for equation number 12.60a. If it is more than 2.75 meter per second, then you need to go for equation number 12.60b. Now VR is about a rubbing velocity. VR is a rubbing velocity. I think one equation is missing in data and book. If we get dynamic strength, I think this has to be dynamic strength of gears. I'll wait, I'll check in a book. Okay, so for worm gears, there is no equations for there is no equation for the dynamic tooth load here. Suppose if we wish to calculate the dynamic load for worm gears, then you can use this equation, equation number 12.54, right? So, have any queries? So shall I go for one simple problem? Okay. I think have you received PDF file of data and book? In WhatsApp group, have you received data and book? What's data and book PDF file? Worm gear. Just only I sent. Just check it. So here also you need to select some data from referring tables here. Okay. So what type of speed you are going to get? So based on that speed, you need to select how many number of starts you need. Okay. Means I'll go for data and book again. I'll show some tables here. Okay. Now this is a load factor. Okay. So you can select the value of CS here. You can select value of CS. Okay. Load factor for various machines. If they have provided machines, then you go for selection of these factors. Otherwise, subjected to load, you can select the value of CS 1, 1.25 and 1.5. Okay. Okay. Okay, here the service factor CS, okay, for use in the VAR formula, that is what equation number 12.62b. That is what equation number 12.62b. And allowable surface pressure sigma C in the wear load formula, that is what equation number 12.62b. Okay. So number of teeth in gear. Okay, based on that one you can select value of sigma C. This is one. Now here the load factor in equation number 12.53d. Okay. Load stress factor for worm gears for use in equation number 12.53d. So now this is what a combination of materials here. Worm is if worm steel, then gear is phosphor branch. So it is a combination of material as well as the lead angle here. as well as the lead angle. Now, if the angle range is 10 degree to 25 degree, then you select these values. Now, regarding calculations, that is how to calculate the dimensions of a worm gear, you refer table number 12.27 here. 12.27. Normal pressure angle alpha, it's again whether you want to go for a 14.5 degree or 20 degree. Outside diameter, you can calculate based on either pitch circle diameter or modulo. Throat diameter, face width, radius of gear face, radius of gear rim, radius of edge. For all these notations, you refer figure number 12.14. Next. So suppose the recommended pressure angles for worm gears based on lead angle here. So lead angle is a gamma 0 to 16 degree. Then you can go for 14.5 pressure angle. If lead angle is 16 to 25, then you go for pressure angle as a 20. If it's 25 to 35, then you go for pressure angle as a 25 degree. At 35 to 45, then you go for 30 degree. Next, so now based on the velocity ratio, so number of threads in worm, a 20 and over, you can go for single. If it's 16, 12 to 16, then you go for double. 8 to 12, you can go for triple. 6 to 12, then you go for quadruple. Then 4 to 10, then you go for sextuple. Okay? Next, so the value of y for worm gears. So you can directly select value of y factor here. Value of y factor. Now for earlier design of spur gear, helical gear as well as bevel gear, you need to find out the value of form factor using the number of teeth, either the actual number of teeth or virtual number of teeth. Now in this case, you can directly select the value of y based on normal pressure angle. So to get this normal pressure angle and pressure angle, you have one relation. You just check it. You just check it. How to calculate the alpha n? Oh. So here also some properties of worm gears are there. So based on American Gear Manufacturing Association. Now you refer this table for calculation of dimensions. For calculation of dimensions, you just refer this table. That is what table number 12.26. You can refer figure also. The symbol you can refer figure number 12.11. Now this is what proportions of the worm gear. Figure number 12.11. So I will draw that figure 12.11. So the figure is 12.11. It is related to the bevel gear here. Okay, it is related to bevel gear. So use that bevel gear figure. I'll just upload that figure in a WhatsApp group. You can just check it. Okay, just go through the figure. And the figure we have used to find out the beam strength of bevel gear. Okay, same figure you need to refer for notations. Okay, shall we go for problem or we'll go for problem on next class? Okay, we'll go for problem on next class. We have a meeting. Okay, so next class will be on Friday. So you just revise the equations. So what I studied in design of bevel gears, because some equations you need to select from bevel gears also. You just revise the equations. Okay, we'll have next class on Friday. You have any queries? So that the PDF contains files. Sorry, the PDF has in PDF pages have been not arranged in a continuous manner. So they are little random. You go through page wise. Okay, you just have a page number, or either you can refer through the equations number. Okay, shall I stop the session? Okay, we'll see you on Friday.